So, back for round one of the High Roller Draft. Finally back for some more draft content. Going to be doing the team analysis before these videos again, just like I did in the XDL. Even though this probably puts me at a much bigger disadvantage than I need to be by actually revealing all these sets, because I'm pretty sure you don't need to in the other league, and a lot of people don't have YouTube channels or anything like that. I'm still going to do it because I just love draft so much, so we'll take the handicap and we'll still do our best to come out on top. So you can see the team that I'm going up against this week against Splatty. Their team is on the top right, and you can see the team that I've drafted as well. If you haven't seen my analysis of my own draft, then go and watch that video as well. It explains why I picked all these Pokemon. But I will be going through the team I am using for this week one. So quite amusingly, me saying how Blastoise was literally the best Pokemon in draft VGC, I'm not bringing it in week one. The Tapu Fini and the Goodra puts me off the Blastoise just a little bit too much. So, yeah, gonna leave that on the bench for now. It's definitely going to be coming in the future, though. So, as always, starting off with alphabetical order. So, Clefable is first. Clefable is probably the least likely Pokemon to come to the match, because I've got a different plan going into this game, but it is always going to be a nice failsafe. Like, if my initial plan just horribly fails in game one, then I can switch to Clefable mode in game two. The reason why I'm not expecting to go Clefable mode is because one of the main things that I'm expecting them to do is to go with Snarl Raikou. And if they're just snarling me as I just follow me, then that kind of defeats the point of the Clefable, because then it's to redirect the other attacks rather than the snarls that could put a stop to my special attackers. So that doesn't really work. If there's no Raikou, I'm going to feel a lot more confident going Clefable. If there is a Raikou, I'm almost certainly not bringing Clefable to the match. So we'll have to just see how that goes. It's a pretty standard Clefable. It's got Citrus Berry for extra bulk. It's got Focus Blast because that can OHKO the stack attacker if I'm in that position. Otherwise, the other three moves are completely standard. It's able to live 2 Sludge Bombs, and in that regard, 2 Max Oozes from a Goodra, because it ignores the special attack boost from the Ooze with the Unaware. So it'll be able to live 2 of them and then just eat up its Citrus Berry. And yeah, it's pretty standard Clefable. It's just got the Focus Blast for the extra coverage. I don't want to have to Focus Blast, but if I'm in a position where I've got a Clefable versus a stack attacker and I could win if I just land one, then I'm going to take that. But I do hate the shaky accuracy of Focus Blast. Speaking of shaky accuracy, I'm so mad at this Froslass already. I had some practice games against Jamie Keane, who helped out a lot with the draft as well. I forgot to shout him out in the video. So shout outs to Jamie Keane for the draft. Shout outs to him for helping with the practice games as well. I am so mad at this Froslass. I missed 3. I went for 9 Frost Breaths in our practice games, and I hit 3 of them. I missed 6 Frost Breaths. I want to wide lens this Froslass every single time I am considering Triple Axle or Frost Breath. And the Triple Axle as well. I went for Triple Axle 3 times. It hit 3 times once. Hit once the second time, and hit 0 times the other. Like, this Froslass needs wide lens. But I'm just viewing it as I got all that bad luck and all the missing out the way before the actual match. I know that's not how it works at all, Gambler's Fallacy and all that. But yeah, like, that was ridiculous in practice. Yeah, because I am planning to, even though I've said in my draft analysis that everyone has to be ready for Froslass and Krookodile, it doesn't look like they can be too ready for Froslass Krookodile. It's going to outspeed most of their team. Only the Tornadus and the Raikou can outspeed. Raikou doesn't want to go up against the Krookodile. Wouldn't care about the Snarl spam either. The Tornadus could be a little bit awkward if it just goes for the physical one with Defiance, even though I'm not Intimidate, and because it can have superpower and do some good damage there. But otherwise, like, the Froslass can't be faked out to stop the Frost Breath. I've got the safety goggles to ignore the Tangrowth. And I want that wide lens, but I need the safety goggles to ignore the Tangrowth, because if that's one of their ways of redirecting the Frost Breath, then I can just ignore that. And then if I just hit my Krookodile, then I'll be able to do some huge damage. But yeah, I'm already mad at Froslass because it's missed so much, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Triple Axle is the choice of attack because it can OHKO the Tornadus if it hits all 3 attacks. That's what the attack investment is for. And the defense investment allows it to live a non-invested Incineroar Flare Blitz, because it's like actually pretty reasonably bulky. I don't need to go faster than that. I don't need to outspeed the Tornadus or the Raikou. I could outspeed a max speed Goodra or a max speed Persimmon, but I've only gone for modest, because if they're timid or jolly, then I'm not too concerned about their damage outputs. So I've just gone for that, and then that afforded all this bulk to go into the Froslass, because in one of the practice games, I did lose turn 1 that game because the Froslass was able to be KO'd to a combination of 2 attacks. With this investment, it should be able to survive now, because I didn't initially have enough investment investment to attack investment with Adamant to be able to OHKO a 252 HP Goodra with Triple Axle, but Froslass needs to live, it needs to get the Frost Breath off. Fake Tears and Taunt could still be ally switch over Fake Tears. I did initially have Destiny Bond in practice, but that only happened once and wasn't that great. Fake Tears would be if I go Porygon-Z and Zapdos as a lead partner with Froslass, because I am intending to go Froslass Krookodile as the first lead. And then I could potentially go Froslass PZ or Froslass Zapdos with the Fake Tears. And Taunt is to, if I want to stop the Stack Attacker going for Trick Room, if they get Tangrowth and Stack Attacker in position, I can ignore the Rage Powder, I can Taunt the Stack Attacker and stop the Trick Room. Meowstic as well, I could get a Taunt off into. If they do go with the Meowstic as the leads, then if I get that Taunt into the Meowstic, it can do like, what, one screen first or whatever it wants to do once, and then it won't be able to do it again for the rest of the game. And one of the nice things about Krookodile is it's immune to the Meowstic. Going for its prankster attacks. So Froslass can be affected. Maybe they're going to Thunder Wave the Froslass before the Anger Point, but then that will only stop it that turn. I'll still hopefully be able to get the Frost Breath off at that point. Yeah, so still debating between Frost Breath, that's absolutely necessary, between Fake Tears and Ally Switch on the Froslass. Fake Tears would help me go more Froslass with PZ and Zapdos. Ally Switch is just general, like if they go Tangrowth to Sleep Powder, I can just Ally Switch and eat the Sleep Powder with the safety goggles as well. So undecided at the moment, we will just have to see. So, you know how I mentioned that Heatran probably doesn't have any flexibility? It's just going to do its job, like one job very well. Yeah, I'm going with a unique set for the Heatran. It learns Iron Defense and Body Press, so why not? The ground type is a Steelix. Heatran beats Steelix regardless, just overheat it. And then the Persimmon is the only other concern. So if I get a Iron Defense off with the Heatran, theoretically, this is just going to win on its own. Just need to take care of the Tapu Fini. That's what the Krookodile and the Zapdos are for. Krookodile could max and give my Heatran max Quake boost, so it can't be beaten by the Tapu Fini. Zapdos can just take care of the Tapu Fini. So this Heatran is almost certainly going to be in the back for all three of the games. I'm saying three. Hopefully I don't lose one. All two of the games. Let's have some confidence. Then yeah, it's almost certainly going to be Froslass and something, or Clefable and something, with Heatran and something in the back. Because I want to just take care of the threats, get the Heatran in position, get the Iron Defense off, so that my body presses can do some good damage, so I can't be KO'd anymore. Because if I get one Iron Defense off with Heatran, they don't have Steelix, and Tapu Fini is KO'd, I probably just win. So we'll have to see how that goes. I've gone for Overheat as the choice of attacking move because 130 base special attack means that Overheat is still doing entirely reasonable damage if I don't have an Iron Defense off. At the moment, I'm going for the Overheat. It can still OHKO the Steelix, it can still OHKO the Tangrowth. So yeah, I'm just getting that as extra coverage. I could have gone for Heat Wave or Flamethrower, but just wanted the extra power of Overheat because it won't matter if I get my special attack dropped because then I can just go for Iron Defense and Body Press after that. So not too concerned. So I could maybe shift a little bit more speed into the Heatran to outspeed potentially a Tapu Fini, but I don't know how much speed they're going to be investing on their Tapu Fini. I've tried to go for some speed benchmarks that I expect them to hit, or they expect me to hit as well, and then try and creep them. But with Heatran, I wanted that defensive investment because I'm pretty sure that is Stack Attacker KOing investment. I'm pretty sure I needed +2 with that much defensive investment to OHKO Stack Attacker. So I didn't want to drop the defense for that to go with extra speed. So we're just going to underspeed the Tapu Fini. Heatran isn't going to be the thing that beats the Tapu Fini anyway, so it's going to be the Zapdos with the Krookodile, or maybe the PZ, so we'll have to see about that. But yeah, this Heatran could just win on its own if I get it into the right position. So Krookodile is the plan lead with the Froslass. Wasn't expecting to go with Anger Point immediately, based on the fact that I said like everyone always needs to be prepared for it, but it seems like this is a good team to bring this against. With the Assault Vest, I can take on pretty much anything. I'm not planning on Dynamaxing the Krookodile. I may need to in the face of the Incineroar just in case they go for Fake Out into Krookodile, but that would be incredibly risky given that I could Dynamax the Krookodile. So we'll have to see, because I'm expecting my Zapdos to Dynamax in the back. I'm hoping to go Froslass Krookodile as the lead, no Dynamax, just still get the +6 and start KOing things with either Earthquake or Power Trip or whatever I want to go for, because Power Trip, when you've got the Anger Point boost, is KOing literally every single Pokemon. So even the Persimmon would go, even the Stack Attacker should go, so maybe even the Steelix, but I can just go for high horsepower in that regard. So yeah, this Krookodile should be putting in a lot of work. With the Assault Vest, it can survive a lot of hits. Persimmon is the only real issue. That's another reason why I'm considering Ally Switch on the Froslass, because if they do bring Persimmon and they want to close combat the Krookodile, Ally Switch just puts a stop to that immediately, at least once, and then we'll play the mind game. But yeah, I've just gone for double ground, double dark coverage, because I've got the spread and the single target ground type attacks, so that if they go with Tangrowth and Stack Attacker, I can just go for EQ instead. And Darkest Lariat is so that I can still hit the Tornadus if I haven't got my Anger Point going. I could go for Rock Slide instead of Darkest Lariat, but Darkest Lariat seems fine to me. So yeah, I'm just going with that extra coverage. I don't think I need the Rock. Rock doesn't hit anything that the other two stabs would hit, so I'm just going with those 4 moves. Outspeeding, what am I outspeeding? I think I'm outspeeding a Raikou at plus, or a -1, because, well, I guess it's +1 or them -1, because either Max Strike or Hurricane Airstream from Zapdos. So that's the fastest thing I need to hit, and just a little bit extra on top of that. It can OHKO a Stack Attacker with a high horsepower, even if I don't have my Anger Point, and then the rest into bulk, so that they really struggle to hopefully KO this Krookodile while I just OHKO everything with the Anger Point. PZ is going to most likely not come to the game, but it definitely can if I need to. Like, if I need to go Clefable PZ mode, then I certainly can. I've got pretty standard moveset other than Giga Impact. Giga Impact is just so that I can do reasonable damage to an Assault Vest Goodra, which would put a stop to the PZ. So a combination of Helping Hand Max Strike from Hyper Beam, and then Helping Hand Max Strike from Giga Impact does OHKO the Goodra. So if I wanted to, I could go for Max Strike from Hyper Beam first, do under 50%, bait them into thinking they're safe, and then OHKO them the next turn with the Giga Impact. But most likely I'm just still going to go for the Giga Impact one. It depends if they go Incineroar or Goodra as well, whether they intimidate my PZ, because that would actually play a part. But again, like, speed stat is pretty much the same as Krookodile. I just don't want to speed tie with my own Pokemon, so I just got 1 point faster. Just got some general bulk, and then just some good damage as well. So, pretty standard PZ. I'm not expecting to go with it, but it's there if I need it to. And Zapdos is going to be my planned Dynamax Pokemon, most likely. I can easily Dynamax the Krookodile or the PZ, if I need to, but theoretically, I've got my Krookodile set up, and then I just come in with Zapdos, I Airstream Earthquake, and I win. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. It's a pretty standard Zapdos. I've got Roost over Protect. Maybe I should have Protect so I can stall out a Trick Room if it does get set up. But there aren't many things that can hit the Zapdos very well. Mainly the Stack Attacker, and that's about it. So even though I'm an offensive one with Life Orb, if I have Roost, then they could struggle to deal with the Zapdos a lot more. I could Roost myself so I can land on the floor, so that if they've got the Tapu Fini and they have a Tangrowth that has Sleep Powders, then I'll be able to make myself immune to that. If I've gone for my Max Lightning as well, and then later on if they've got the extra train again, I can ground myself so that the Tangrowth can't Sleep Powder me. Some nice little synergies there that can happen. So yeah, it's just max special attack. Again, speed, but just 1 faster, because why not? And then just the rest into bulk. So yeah, that's going to be it for round 1 of the High Roller Draft. There's going to be 8 weeks of regular season, so this is going to be the first one. I'm excited to get started again with this, and Froslass just needs to hit its moves.